Okay, hi everyone. I'm just going to do a quick how I do my shot. I do a vitamin B12 um, intramuscular hydroxycobalamin injection. This is the box that it comes in, and this is the vial that you find inside. It's 1 ml of a red fluid. I'll just show you what else I have here. I've got the alcohol swab, and I've got a syringe. Today I'm going to use a 5 ml syringe. Normally I use either a 1 or a 3 ml, but that's just what I have today. And a 23 gauge needle for intramuscular injection. Okay, the other things that I have here on my little tray is this little lid, and I use this with the ampule. I pop it on the top. It gives me a little bit more leverage to pop the top off of the vial. And if you have a close look at the vial, you can see that there's a little blue dot on there, and we'll talk about that more in a second when I've got both hands free. I also have a folded paper towel, and I also use that with the vial and the lid to prevent myself cutting myself, because I've done that before. I also have here a sharps box bin for afterwards, cleaning up, and I have a couple of cotton balls for afterwards if I have a little spot of blood. A little band-aid. I don't usually use those, but some people might wish to. And I have a clean towel, and so what that's for is before we start we make sure we wash our hands with some antibacterial. So you'll hear me doing that now. I'm just going to wash my hands. Okay. So I've given them a good scrub twice now, and I've got my towel and I'm drying my hands. And here I am. I'm just going to show you how I go about getting the vial open. Okay, and so the first thing I do is I get the needle and the syringe ready so that it's ready to draw up the fluid out of the vial once it's opened. So I just take the needle and syringe, and I pop the syringe into the needle quickly. Being careful, I actually use my fingernail to loosen the lid off the top of the syringe so it's easier to get off in a minute when I grab it, because sometimes they can be really tricky to get on and off. So that's ready there to go, and I just pop the rubbish into the bin. Okay, so in the meantime, what I'll do is I'll take my swab and I'll swab the area that I'm going to inject. I'll show you that in a minute. But I do that now, swabbing from the inside in little circles towards the outside to keep it clean. I do that now because I like it to be on there for a minute to do its job and kill any germs, and also I like it to be dry when I inject so that it doesn't sting from the alcohol when the needle pierces the skin. Okay, so we take the vial, and we make sure the fluid is all the way down in the bottom half. Sometimes an air bubble can trap some of the fluid up the top there. You can give it a tap with your fingernail or tap it on the bench, and it will allow the fluid to go back to the bottom. So we pop the pen lid over the top so that we can see the blue dot on from the vial. And then I take this paper towel and I wrap it around the bottom half of the vial so that I can put my thumb underneath. My thumb goes underneath there and holds onto the vial, and on the other side my fingers go underneath the paper towel. The only reason I do this now is one time I was a bit shaky when I did pop the top off, and the glass cut my thumbnail and my thumb open from the top of the broken vial. It's only happened once, but I don't want to have to clean up and have to wear a band-aid, so I always put the paper towel over my fingers. So I can see the blue dot still, and my thumbs are protected, and at the top my fingers are protected by the blue cap. You could always disinfect this cap if you have one of these to make sure it's clean. That's what I do. I just used one off a new pen. So we pop the top off of the vial. The dot Now I can't remember which way the dot's supposed to go. I think you put it so the dot's facing away from you, and then you just pop the top off it like that. It's really easy. Seems hard, but the first time that you get used to it, and if it doesn't work, you just turn it around so the dot should be facing away from you, and you just pop it off. So then you take the top off of your needle, and I just push the air out of the end of the syringe, and when I put the needle into the glass vial, I don't hit the bottom because I want to use the same needle and I don't want the needle to get blunt. So I just put it in almost to the bottom, and sorry for the shaky hands. I just draw up the vitamin B12 out of the ampule, and keep going, don't worry about if it's got bubbles in it just yet. Just suck all that good B12 that you need up into there, and you can see now that that's pretty well empty. I just pop the glass over there out of the way so I can't hurt myself on it. The next thing I do is I just draw the bottom of the syringe down to make sure I've got all the B12 there. You can see sometimes if you push up and down, little bits will fire up, and rather than waste any of it, we go up and down to get it all in one big section in the syringe. So what we do now is we just push, there's an air bubble there in the top, so what we're going to do is we push the, we're going to push that bubble out, so sometimes we'll have to draw the air back down to get it out, and then just make sure your syringe is upright so that the air bubble doesn't get stuck there on that top edge. Just push it up to the top and keep going until you see some drops coming out the top of your needle. Great, you're ready to go. You very carefully put the lid back on your syringe for now. And the next step, of course, is just to sit down comfortably and relax your leg, and if you haven't swabbed your leg, swab it, and then you'll be doing the injection, or then I'll be doing my injection, I should say. So I'm just going to stop the video here, and this is the end of the first half, preparing for your injection. Okay, thanks for watching.